Next, we'll be looking at how to find the simple interest or amount when looking at a graph. So, here the graph shows all the continents, and part A asks, what is the principal? Now, simply, you could tell by looking at what is deposited. So the principal is what is deposited, and that's your first amount, what you're given, all right? So right now, he first deposited 800, so that's the principal, 800. Now, how to find the annual interest rate? This one will require a little bit more of evaluating, and we'll go through that. So let's assume that in 5 years, he earns $1,000. I recommend you always start at a point where the line intersects with the X and Y axis. So for example, let's say it starts here. The X and Y axis, let's say on a grid paper, intersects there. So that will be a really good place to start since it will be easier to evaluate. So let's say in 5 years, he earns $1,000. So what would you do to find the annual interest rate is you do 1,000 subtracted by the principal, or 800. You'd get 200. Divide 200 by 5, and you get 40. That is how much you earn every year from 0 to 5, $40. So 800, so the first year, then since after $800 you deposited, the first year you get $840, and so on, until the fifth year you receive 1,000. Now you want to turn that to a percentage to make that your annual interest rate. So all you have to do is 40 divided by the principal again, which is 800, and you get 0.05, or 5%. And that's your R, 0.05, because we'll be using that in the next part. The next part is write an equation to relate the amount to time. So we know that the equation is A equals P plus I, which is also PRT, because I equals PRT. And now we're going to evaluate it. Since we know that the principal is 800, we write 800 and plus 40t. So I recommend you open it up. Instead of I, you replace with PRT, and then place P, the principal is 800, and multiply that by 0.05. Once you multiply those two together, you get 40, and then T would be left right beside it as a variable. Finally, we'll be looking at D. Use the equation to determine how long it will take for the original investment to double. Now, think about it. The original investment to double. So that'll be your amount, your original investment to double. So A will equal 800 times 2, because you want to know how long it will take. How long is T, basically? How long it will take for your original investment to double. So 800 times 2 equals 1,600. And that's your amount. Now, you're going to replace A with 1,600 equals 800 plus 40t. When you evaluate it, you just do reverse spend mass. So you put 800 on the other side. 1,600 minus 800 is 800. And divide 4, and do, since it's 40t, you divide 40 on both sides. And therefore, you get t, and t divide 800 divided by 40, just to show you on a calculator. Is 20. So therefore, it takes 20 years for your investment to double.